One. Hi all, and welcome to Huddle in Place with the Nine-Sided Circle. I am one of your hosts, Noor Kyle, along with your other host,
Mushtaq Ali. That would make me the second host, or the two of your hosts. If you're the one of their hosts, I should be the two of their hosts.
Oh, okay. Yep. So this is our 23rd episode.
Third.
Yes. And today, do you want to say something about that?
Everybody who knows anything knows that the number 23 is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. 23 skidoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's April 15th.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The day that the Titanic sunk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Titanic and everyone on it, basically.
Yeah.
We think of you often. Yeah, so I'm in Los Angeles, and Mushtaq
I'm not.
is not. Yes. Where are you today?
Well, today I am either in Silicon Valley or I am in the Chusca Mountains of New Mexico.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm doing all in all pretty good. I had a very quiet day because no clients.
Yep.
And you got to kind of like that, I guess.
Making the most of it.
Making the most of it. Yeah. You got to like it even if you don't like it.
Yep. And that's how I felt about my day too. Today was a tough day for me. I don't know why. Just, we all have our down days and our challenges, and I think we can all relate to that right now. So
yeah, it's rough out there. I mean, California, all in all, is doing pretty good. Yeah, we were lucky because our governor jumped on this huddle in place stuff pretty much ahead of everybody else except for maybe Chicago. I think Chicago jumped on it the same day that we did.
Yeah, I mean, my family is mostly in Massachusetts right now, and their numbers are climbing higher than California's now. And I think that's going to be an ongoing trend for some time because they were a little bit slower in getting things rolling. So they've got a bit of catching up to do. And we're in a position now where we're kind of settling into our, I think Sesame Street puts it this way, our normal for now. And other states across the country are still finding their normal for now. And we know, because we've been there, that that's a really, it's a process that shakes you up. It is not easy being in that space where you're really not sure what's going to happen next. You're watching the numbers climb every day. It's not fun.
Nope. And my old state of Michigan is doing what it always does, which is the minority of right-wing assholes use every opportunity to make everything about their politics. And so they're probably going to kill people one way or the other, getting people infected, running around being stupid.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that's going on across the whole country. Is some of our politicians, our president included, are just not really thinking about this in terms of, the fragility of human life. They're thinking more about the numbers and the bottom lines and all that stuff, which is, it's hard to see that. It is.
Yep, there was a congressman from Indiana today who was saying, we just have to let people die.
Yeah.
The economy is more important than people's lives.
Right. And to be in such a privileged nation, it's just baffling, to have people be that
Callous?
What's the word? Yeah,
Callous.
I guess so. I mean, because we know there are nations who are going to suffer deep mortal pain because of the fact that they just don't have the surplus of resources that we've built up. And there are a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah, like being
historically.
blockaded for 40 years.
Exactly. And so the fact that even with all of our privilege, we're still allowing people to suffer, it's just really,
Yeah.
it's, you can't help but be in awe of that callousness. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, these are the things that we can grieve and just sit with, because those feelings are real and valid, and they're part of all of this experience. They're a valid part of this whole experience. Yeah. So with that said, I mean, today we wanted to just read some more stories.
Yeah, entertain you a little bit now that we've gotten you all riled up with the politics.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's something that we can do from the heart, but it's also easy on us too. So
Yeah,
that's why it's a great choice for today.
and there's
So,
nothing like stories.
of course, it's such a big part of the Sufi tradition to tell stories. So,
Yeah. So, Noor, tell us a story.
all right. So I am going to read you all a story called The Fruit of Heaven. There once was a woman who had heard of the fruit of heaven. She coveted it. She asked a certain dervish, whom we shall call Sabar, "How can I find this fruit so that I may attain to immediate knowledge?" "You would best be advised to study with me," said the dervish. "But if you will not do so, you will have to travel resolutely and at times restlessly throughout the world." She left him and sought another, Arif the wise one, and then she found Hakim the sage, and then Majzub the mad, then Alim the scientist, and many more. She passed 30 years in her search. Finally, she came to a garden. There stood the tree of heaven, and from its branches hung the bright fruit of heaven. Standing beside the tree was Sabar, the first dervish. "Why did you not tell me when we first met that you were the custodian of the fruit of heaven?" she asked him. "Because you would not have then believed me. Besides, the tree produces fruit only once in 30 years and 30 days. So that's a good one. I
That's a
like
fun
that
one.
one.
And I have one about frogs. I like this one. A group of frogs were traveling through the woods, and two of them fell into a deep pit. All the other frogs gathered around the pit. When they saw how deep the pit was, they told the unfortunate frogs that they would never get out. The two frogs ignored the comments and tried to jump up out of the pit. The other frogs kept telling them to stop, that they were as good as dead. Finally, one of the frogs took heed of what the other frogs were saying and simply gave up. He fell down and died. The other frog continued to jump as hard as he could. Once again, the crowd of frogs yelled at him to stop the pain and the suffering and just die. He jumped even harder and finally made it out. When he got out, the other frogs asked him, "Why did you continue to jump? Didn't you hear us?" The frog explained to them that he was deaf, and he thought that they were encouraging him to the entire time.
Oh, frogs.
Frogs.
Yep.
Do you have another one, or would you like me to read one?
Let's see what we got. I will read this short one.
Read a short one.
A Bedouin was once walking with his dog in the desert, carrying a skin of water on his shoulders, crying pitifully as he went along. When asked by someone why he was crying, he replied, "Because my dog is dying of thirst." "Why don't you give him some of your water then?" the questioner asked. "Because I might need the water myself." More fun.
Yeah, a little bit reminiscent of today, ain't it?
Yeah, kind Kinda. I mean, it's something for us all to think about, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, I have one last story for us. It's called The Four Towns. There were 4 towns. In each town, people were starving to death. Each town had a bag of seeds. In the first town, no one knew what the seeds could do. No one knew how to plant them. Everyone starved. In the second town, one person knew what the seeds were and how to plant them, but did nothing about it for one reason or another. Everyone starved. In the third town, one person knew what the seeds were and how to plant them. He proposed to plant them in exchange for being declared the king or ruler. All ate, but were ruled. In the fourth town, one person knew what seeds were and how to plant them. He not only planted the seeds, but he taught everyone else the art of gardening. All ate, all were free, all were empowered.
Yeah.
So that's my last story for the night.
Mm.
So there you have it, folks. This is us hanging in there, sometimes by the skin of our fingers, but we're hanging in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. Every time we say, we're all in this together, it's real.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, we hope you enjoyed those stories, and we will be right back here tomorrow.
All right. Take care. Bye.
See you then.